Just wanted to give you an update on how my Periscope is coming. I've done quite a few changes since my last video, if you check that video out. Number one, I just adapted this little holder for all the electronics a little bit. So I've just added some mounts here for the NeoPixel jewels. And the main thing that I changed from my first design was I had these two Arduino Nanos, and they were side by side on a circuit board that had sockets, and they plugged into here, kind of like that. Well, what I found after trying to stuff everything into the top of this Periscope body is that once this is in, it was really, really tough to get everything in there with the magnet mounts that are on my final version as well. So I did get them all in, but I didn't really like it. So I gutted everything. I took the nanos out and I've replaced them with this setup right here. So what I did is I used the same size circuit board. It still fits right in like that. But now I am using two Adafruit Pro trinkets. They're a little bit smaller, and I didn't put any sockets, so these are all soldered directly in. So if they end up breaking, I'm going to have to redo the whole thing. Hopefully nothing like that would happen. And I also have the data ports on the top here, so I can reprogram it just by plugging in a USB cord right from the very, very top of the body. I added a bunch of headers on here that I can solder directly onto. There's a power strip right here and a negative right there. And then I've got my scanner pins right here that I can solder directly to. And yeah, I'm going to just put that right in like that. And then it'll be way easier, I think, to put into the top of here once I have that all together. So I'm going to start soldering up all these parts here, and then we'll kind of see where it goes. And before I do that, I just wanted to show you what I've done on my with my Periscope. So this is getting to be my final copy. So you can see I've painted the bottom part. I've added, this is the power wire, and it'll go right through the bottom like that. And then I'm still going to put one more wire just for show on the other side. It's looking pretty good. So if you want to know how I got that, this is not aluminum. That's just looks like aluminum. These were resin printed, so they were already pretty smooth. But the way I got that finish was I used my airbrush, and I started off with Alclad's, it's a gloss primer. So make sure everything's nice and sanded first to begin with, and you spray that on. Follow that up after that's totally dry with Alclad lacquer. It's a polished aluminum, so I put that on. And then once that's dry, I added this Aqua Gloss Clear. This stuff is water-based, actually, in it. And it says Aqua Gloss, but it doesn't actually put a gloss finish on it. It just really protects the surface from fingerprints and chips and whatnot. So that worked pretty good. So that's my Periscope so far, and I will just put the components on, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's powered up. Okay, so I was able to stuff all the electronics into my Periscope body. Here's what it looks like so far. I put a JST connector on the bottom here, so I can easily remove it if I have to. And added the extra wire in there just for show. And like I said, this is all Alclad polished aluminum paint. I also did the black in Plasti Dip, so it's got like a rubberized texture to that and these two end pieces right here. All of the electronics is shoved in. It's pretty packed in there, but I do have access to the two USB ports to reprogram this, and I can actually pull that out if I have to make any repairs. So I'm just going to turn it on here. You can see what it looks like with 5 volts. So that the trinkets they're not as fast as Arduino's to power up. They take about 5 to 10 seconds to power on because they go into boot mode first in case you want to send a sketch down to them. But that's not a huge issue. So the back LEDs light up first because they're just hooked up to power. You can see them blinking there. And then all of the other lights are activated. So this is just a resin printed front. I cut some translucent plastic out of cutting board and just glued it into place with some E6000. And I might eventually, if I can find some 28mm lenses, I could replace those and do a clear on the front, but I don't think I mind that for now. Anyways, that's what it looks like before it goes onto my dome mechanism. I don't have the pie panel on yet, but that's all to come later. Again, thanks a lot for watching.